On January 2nd, 2025 EST, Ms. Ava Chen, a member of the new federal state of China NFSC and director of NFSC Speaks, was invited to appear on the widely acclaimed political program WarRoom. Amid escalating internal and external challenges faced by the Chinese Communist Party CCP, Ava delivered insightful and impactful answers to questions posed by host Steve Bannon. Topics included an evaluation of the current state of the CCP and Xi Jinping, as well as the true meaning behind the CCP's concept of a people's war.
Just give us your assessment of Xi's New Year's Day proclamation to the Chinese people, but your assessment from the new federal state, kind of the alternative to the Chinese Communist Party, of your assessment of where the CCP and Xi stand right now.
Thank you, Steve, for the question. So I think we're open only the second day of the new year. We're already seeing things that's very concerning. Just last week, we already broke the story of Xi's health. And this dictator knows his time is ticking out. And in the desperate moment, and the vulnerability shows, as you mentioned, the economy, the situation, the people's livelihood, and also the pushback, the resistance, and the awakening of the Lao Baixing, pushing back, challenge and demand a political and economic completely showdown. So this is a moment that we could possibly see desperate measures. And from the New Year's speech, you heard he's emphasized on Macau and Hong Kong. They're going to continue control and tightening the grip on these two autonomous regions. And of course, CCP is only capable of lying, but also mentioned about Taiwan. And he said anyone preventing the reunification of the two sides of the strait will face the consequences. So that's a threatening world. But what more important, Steve, is today, January 2nd, there's something happening in Beijing. If you look at the top diplomat, Wang Yi, the foreign minister of the CCP, basically just deliver a speech at the inauguration ceremony at what's called Research Center for Community of Shared Future or Destiny for Mankind. So does that ring a bell? You should. Because if we take you back to just a few years ago during the U.S.-China trade talk in 2019 June, Wang Yi threatened the United States. As he said, don't push too hard, okay? If you apply too much pressure, the CCP going to open what's called Pandora's box. And guess what? Several months later, COVID-19 pandemic emerged. Okay, does that sound familiar? And in 2020, early February, Miles School reviewed when you're entering the Wuhan Virology of Institute, there are words engraved on the wall, the entryway. And it says, when you enter this gate, you about to open the Pandora box. So what does that mean? If I can take you back to just 2 years ago, actually almost 3, we're coming to the 3rd anniversary of the invasion, Russian invasion of Ukraine. I can take you back to 2022 January, after the Winter Olympic, Putin and Xi announced no limit partnership. And on 2020, 4 days before Russia sent troops to Ukraine, Miles School did a live broadcast, and he unpacked what does no limit partnerships look like. And he reviewed the secret conversation between Xi and Putin, and they already planned all out. And Ben Bergquan and WarRoom Posse, and you are absolutely right. The war with the United States, the CCP waged the war against the Western world. United States started many years ago, officially started in 2019, but in 2022, they escalated by invading Ukraine. They were plotting at the same time, invading Ukraine and invading Taiwan at the same time. They planned, first of all, cyber attack. Okay, so if United States come back with sanctions on the CCP, they will do cyber attack. Look at what's happening right now. Okay, in the United States, you can connect with what the warnings that Miles School delivered 2 years ago. Second, economic meltdown. What the market you mentioned, if you look at all the market, if you look at the bond, stock exchange and foreign exchange market in China, it's a total meltdown. And they know, Xi Jinping knew what would happen, because they're going to give the biggest gift to the new president, the president-elect. When he arrives at the high noon on January 20th, he's going to be busy. Okay, they already planned it out. Economic financial market meltdown. Look at last few days, from digital currency, okay, to your stock exchange, to every market you can touch your finger on. Look at what the response. They already planned. The world will going down chaos wherever you look at it. Okay, not just the border, but Xi Jinping has planned. If economic meltdown happens, wait a second. If United States going to fight back, what's next? They already planned it out. They planned on what? A show of nuclear weapon, just to show you, just to kind of performative, threatening the world, divided you, because they know within your democracy, within your Congress, Capitol Hill, there's a two divided concept in terms of how they're going to handle the situation. But after that, if that's not working, what they're going to do is release what they've done in 2019, which is bioweapon. Never in history of mankind, there's such an effective weapon that can cause so much damage, not only destroy your economy, but also taking away millions of lives around the globe. And then if that doesn't work, they still have more.
Explain to the American people, Ava, when Xi and the Chinese Communist Party talk about a people's war, what does that mean?
Well, it means affecting not only your physical health, and they use the BGY, capture your elites, cast the widest espionage network, and using what's the most effective tool, which is propaganda, your media. This is why the media warfare, the cognitive warfare, relying on the Western media and also social media platforms. This is why TikTok is such a weapon. Right now, it's scary because people not link this together. Because I can tell you, the CCP has in a split seconds paralyze your entire nation. How do they do that? DJI. They have a spy balloon cover the high latitude, and then they have a DJI drone. Okay, and they have what? They have a TP links, routers, Huawei equipments, ZTE, and Hackathon Vision that in your country right now. And on the ground, they have 170 million people using TikTok. TikTok is not an innocuous social media platform. It is a weapon. All of those hardware, they have a backdoor. Anything built in communist China has a hardware backdoor. Anything software that written codes by the CCP, you bet you there is malware. You have so many entry points. All of them are interconnected, and they will be in a strike of moment, sending disinformation, sending false information, and sending trojans of bots and malware in your system and paralyze everything you depending on. And if you are going into a wall, this is something that United States has to address. And this is imminent danger because we already see what's happening New Year's Eve, terrorist attack and also open border. During the 2022 February 20th, Miles School mentioned if none of those work, they will send more refugees. Okay, be prepared. Those refugees, and there's intelligence officers, interviewed on social media and mentioning about how the CCP's TikTok app helped those people cross the Darien Gap and getting all the routes together and getting support from IOM or UNHCR, the High Commission of Refugee. These are communists infested and controlled organizations, sub-organization, and the United Nations. And Ben Kwong was right on because Miles School has told us in the last decades, several decades, the CCP spent most of the money on United Nations. Top priority is human rights organization. Exactly what I just said. IOM and United Nations, HCR, and also relief agencies. So these all completely taken over by Chinese Communist Party. They answer to Beijing rather than anyone from the free world that paying the bill.
Ava, we got to bounce. I want to know social media, where they go to the new Federal State TV, where they get all your content. It's amazing. Fantastic.
Okay, so please do follow us on NFSC Speaks on Getter. And this is our preferred platform because we get censored, shadow banned on X. But do subscribe to our X as well. It's NFSC Speak and Rumble. So thank you so much, Steve, for inviting me today.
We get shadow banned too. Go Getter. Download the Getter app right now. It's totally free. It's where I put up exclusively all of my content 24 hours a day. You want to know what Steve Bannon's thinking? Go to Getter. Ava, thank you so much. What a fighter. Wow.